Ready?
Yeah.
My name's Stan Nabozny, and I'm fishing in West Africa with Mark Longstick. I hold 150 IGFA world records, and I'm going to show you how we set up for these giant tarpon here in West Africa. First consideration in terms of when I fish for these fish is the hook, which is here on the end of the line. You'll see right there I'm using a circle hook. Can you get a good shot of that, Mark? This one is a Mustad Ultra Point. And the reason I use this hook, it's a little bit heavier gauge. Now the thing about these big tarpon is they have such a strong jaw pressure that right here at the barb, I've had 3 tarpon lost over 200 pounds just because the tarpon bites so hard down on the hook, it breaks the hook right there. So you don't want to have a tuna hook, but you want to have something light enough so that your live bait will swim freely in the water. And also you do not want a hook that has a light wire, because I guarantee you they will bite and they will break this hook right here at the barb. So that's the kind of hook you want, about an 8/0 to 10/0 circle hook. Next consideration is the line. Now, because I fish for IGFA records, I'm limited to 15 feet. So what I have here is 80-pound Seagar. And I use Seagar because it's high quality, and I use the blue label, and it's heavy. Now, the reason I'm using such a heavy line, you might ask, well, why use a heavy line like this when you're fishing with 16-pound line? Well, over a 2 or 3 hour fight, this line becomes so much abrasion happens to this line that this 80-pound line will turn into 40-pound line in 3 hours. So the other aspect of fishing for big tarpon is you want to land the fish within 3 hours if you can. Past 3 hours, you got problems because your leader is not going to be the strength where it started. Next consideration, just going to walk you down the line, is the actual main line you're going to use. Now, here, what I have is 16-pound line, and I'm using Mason. Now, the reason I use Mason, as you probably know, tarpon travel together in packs. I've lost fish fishing ultralight line because the tail of the fish bangs this line, and over a couple of hours what happens is this line will reduce in its strength. So I use Andy a lot. I've lost multiple tarpon fishing with Andy. Why? The line becomes scarred because the fish are swimming around together, and so you want a line that has a lot of abrasion resistance, and Mason, in my opinion, it's the best line for that. Now, I have 15 feet of leader, and probably about 5 feet down the leader, I have a spot for a sinker. So I have a little whip knot here with a bead with a slider to hold the sinker. So depending upon the state of tide, and I don't know, Mark, if you can show them how fast the tide is running, but if you look at this water right here, it's moving. This is not like fishing in Florida. The big fish are going to hang in the heavy, heavy current lines. And so what you want is you're going to put probably a 6-ounce sinker. You're going to put a 6-ounce sinker right here, and you're going to hold this down maybe 10 feet off the bottom. And that's where the big fish are going to bite. Now, the other consideration is the kind of reel that you want to use. Now, I've used all sorts of reels. I use Avet, and I'm not trying to endorse any manufacturer. I've used Shimano, and I've had bad luck with Shimano reels. They don't have the kind of drag system that I like. This particular reel, it's variable. I can set it to whatever drag I want, anywhere from 2 pounds to 40 pounds. Okay, this will actually hold up to 40 pounds of drag. So, and actually this reel is made for braid. It's designed for braid. But for tarpon fishing, for ultralight tackle, I think it's the best that you can use. So that's it for me in terms of tackle. Mark, have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
All right, so that's the tackle setup that we use here in West Africa. This is how I fish for ultralight tackle for